so quick breads, pancakes, muffins, biscuits, scones, all of these are going to be known as quick breads. They're very cool in the fact that they're quick. So you're looking at items that are not using yeast. This is super important, but there's always that process in how they get mixed. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is the pancake batter. This is something that I've probably been doing with my kids at home for years and years and years. And it's something that you should be doing as well. The idea of buying a pancake mix makes no sense to me. So it's only a few ingredients, but it's how it's mixed together. So I have 2 bowls here. I have oil and vanilla extract. We have our egg, and we have our buttermilk in this case. So if you were doing a regular milk version of pancakes, you would notice that during your dry ingredients, you would not have baking soda, because the baking soda interacts directly with the pH level and balances everything out. So if you were doing this with a regular milk as opposed to a buttermilk, you wouldn't see that baking soda in there. Now, as far as our dry ingredients, we have flour, we have sugar, we have baking powder, we have salt, and we have baking soda. So these dry ingredients all go inside the bowl, and you'll notice that there's separate bowls. So this, and I'm gonna whisk that just a little bit, make sure there's no lumps. This is called the Muffin Method. I know it's biscuits, but this is or in this case it's pancakes, but we use what's called the Muffin Method when we make these. So we have our liquid, which we whisk up. We have our dry, and we're gonna take these 2 items and put them together, and you'll notice that I will quickly get rid of the whisk itself, because during the Muffin Method, you only need to whisk the liquid just until it's together, and then using a rubber spatula, we're going to incorporate these 2 till pea-sized lumps form, and all of that dry is actually gotten wet. And at this point, I'm gonna stop, okay? And we're gonna show you on the actual flat top itself, let me grab a towel here, seasoning the grill. There we go. All right, so we have a seasoned grill here. I have my pancake batter done. I'm gonna turn that down just a touch. And you'll see, as we put our pancake batter down, and of course we're waiting for those bubbles to rise up around the outside edge. But the one part of this demo I wanted everybody to see is, what is an overmixed pancake versus an undermixed versus a perfectly mixed. So this one is just a hair undermixed. I'm then gonna take that batter and give it a couple more turns. And I'm gonna put some batter in the middle. This will be our, what I consider perfectly mixed. And then I'm gonna sit here and do what normally happens in some households, where everybody wants it to be super smooth. And you'll notice I just kept mixing that, and now it's runny. Okay? I'm gonna come in here with our first pancake. So now that I've mixed this till it was smooth, this would be overmixed. And it does pour onto the flat top a little easier. And you could probably do the designs, the Mickey Mouse ones, and this, that, and the other. However, I think you'll also see what I call the McDonald's effect. It's those bubbles that come in the bottom of the pancake, creating a pancake that's less fluffy. And I mean, look at that, that's nice. Nice golden brown. This one has a little bit too dark. You'll notice that this one will rise up pretty well. And then once this one gets to that point, You're going to see more bubbles come through the middle. And with more bubbles coming through the middle, that's probably going to mean that we're going to have some issues with tunneling. And the tunneling is what we need to be very, very careful of. As you create that, it makes a really tough pancake. Something that you can maybe put into a styrofoam container and send out the window at a drive-thru. However, it's not as tender and soft. And when we cut these in half, you'll see the difference. So I've got a few bubbles here. This one is nice. You can feel that. There's a little dough still raw in the middle there. This one is done. And there's our bubbles that I was talking about in the middle. There's one, there's two. So we're gonna end up with these bubbles that start to raise in the middle. And you notice that with these other ones, we only had a few bubbles around the outside edge. So go ahead and pick this up. So I will say it looks nice, and this is probably what a lot of us have been programmed to see and eat. However, I implore you at home to mix and do what I just did and give it a try and see what you're going to end up with, because I think you'll notice that you know, that soft tender, but there's a couple of spots in there, maybe a little bit of dry ingredient, but there's no tunneling. It looks nice and clean. With this one, I could kind of, you saw that it was kind of spongy almost, but once again, still not any tunneling. This one, I could see the tunneling all around this outside edge already, so I know it's going to give us a problem. And even this one, you can see some of that tunneling going on. Almost, not too bad, but here's the problem. We have a piece of dry ingredient, and no one wants to eat that. So somewhere between this one and this one is what I'm gonna ask you to be doing at home and trying it. And believe me, you got years and years and years to practice and get really good at making pancakes. So get that good maple syrup out and give making that perfect pancake a good try. Thank you.